There's been a lot of tears and heartache about how we got to where we are. How did Kamala Harris lose this race? And what a catastrophe it is. And you know what? I think that actually we were dealt quite a blessing. Not because I wanted Trump to win. As a matter of fact, I wanted him to lose more than anything else I can think of. But you know what? I think there's something behind this that if we can really learn the lesson, it doesn't have to be a win-lose situation. It can be a win or learn situation. There's something that we as Americans, we as part of the resistance of what we see coming down the line, need to really learn so that we can be better positioned to not lose in the next one or not have to learn this lesson again. And that is that, you know what? For all the talk about racism, which was a factor, for anti-female vibes, which is a factor, anti-immigration, which was a factor, the economy, which was a factor, none of those things are really, in my understanding of what went down, are the real problem. So I don't necessarily think we need to be bad at Latinos or the white women who didn't show up for us, or even the black folk and other folk who just decided to sit this election out and allow our country to be put into the hands of somebody who fundamentally does not care about anyone but himself, right? Here's the lesson that we need to learn, or here's the gift that we've been given. You think about all the white men who overwhelmingly always vote more Republican than Democrat, but voted for Donald Trump for one big reason. The country and the system does not work for them either. They're starting to see that even for me, a white man for whom the promise of America was always just an inherent fact, that it's going to work out for me just fundamentally. I don't even really have to do much. I can be mediocre and make it in this country. Even they, no matter whether they're in Appalachia or they're in Texas or they're in, New York City or LA, they're seeing that it is just damn hard for everybody to make it in America. And why is that? You need look no further than the main funder and the main advocate for Donald Trump, which was Elon Musk. Now, is Elon Musk a genius? Has he come up with great stuff that really has changed the world? Absolutely. He's the richest man in the world. But even the richest man in the world said, how can I get even more power? I could back a guy like Donald Trump, who, if I'm able to get him over the finish line, is not only going to make my businesses and all the contracts that I have even that much more valuable and raise my net worth even more. If I happen to back him and he loses, Kamala Trump's not going to come after me. That's not how they get down. But this guy gets down for the people who help him. He's willing to help. And you know what? That's what many of the billionaires from Silicon Valley to Wall Street to wherever you want to say, they're like, that's the guy I want to make sure I please him. Because this system is set up that we win no matter what. We win if Republicans win. We win if Democrats win. And that's what people haven't put those two dots together. So all those white men and white women, let's be honest, who voted because they felt like their best interest was backing somebody who makes them feel like they come first, that America first, make America great again means that you're going to get your better piece of the pie. When you wake up and put together the fact that you fell for the okie doke with somebody who's not even thinking about you, you're a chess piece, you're a pawn in a game that's being played for the benefit of people who may look like you, but are nothing like you, right? So as Blacks and other minorities in this country, we always come with the assumption that, well, the system is stacked against us. So we're not as undone by this period that we're living in with the inflation and all those kinds of things, because we're always having to swim against the tide in some way. But even for us, we're starting to see that, oh, okay, this vote should tell us that there is no white knight, and there may not even be a black knight who's really coming to save us, that we're going to have to come together ourselves, economically, socially, educationally, and save ourselves. That's why you're seeing so many black women, and God bless black women for helping to lead the charge into the election. And even coming out of the election, they're saying, hey, we're going to have to come at this a different way. we're going to have to really economically start to flex for ourselves and on the rest of the country, because we cannot count on anybody else. They will fall for the okey doke, where we already know that we can smell a rat. We can take a guy who's been convicted of sexual molestation for taking our country's national security secrets and putting them in his bathroom, for doing all kinds of terrible stuff, trying to steal an election. Say, listen, we've been told that that's not somebody that we would ever vote for under any circumstances, because they've proven time and again that they don't care about anyone but themselves, right? So you're negated. But there are other people, and actually some of us too, who said, hey, but if you say that you can somehow make it better for me, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to that. I'm willing to just like wink at that and vote for you anyway, because maybe my bacon will be cheaper. Well, that's what America has told us. Sure, Kamala could have been she could have had more conviction. She could have spoken more plainly and been more where the rubber meets the road, and not, about freedom and whatever, because the people weren't on that page. They were on a much lower vibration page. I like high vibes much as anybody else. But you know who's the epitome of high vibes? You know who's the epitome of manifestation of law of attraction? It's Donald Trump, right? So love him or hate him, that guy believes about himself, or at least appears to, in a way that makes other people believe him. Like, his game is so tight that he can just keep saying it no matter what the facts are, and he bends his party and he bends his people to just accept his facts. He will even allow a news outlet like Fox News to get sued for $1 billion almost, and have to pay it off and have another $1 billion lawsuit pending because of the lies they told. But in their game, that's just the cost of doing business, right? And that's how Donald Trump approaches everything. So let me boil it down. The Democrats can either learn or they will lose in future elections, because love him or hate him, I think Obama is probably the suavest guy out there, but he was terrible, in my view, at telling his story over the 8 years that he was president. He spent more time apologizing for the state of things not being perfect than spending time absolutely just telling everybody that we're killing it. Look at us related to the rest of the world. And along comes Donald Trump with no qualifications and convinces people just on the sheer force of his personality that he's more qualified and a better bet than Hillary Clinton, who has more qualifications than probably anybody who's ever run. And here he comes back again after Joe Biden, who was, again, did probably more for the American people coming out of COVID and so forth, and had more legislation passed than anybody, but could not tell the story, right? So what does that mean for you and me? You and I have got to, particularly as entrepreneurs, if you're an entrepreneur like I am, you've got to be able to, A, be great, unlike our president. And you've also got to tell your story in a way that is great. You've got to compel people with the sheer force of your belief in yourself and in your product, your service, or whatever is the means of your business, how great it is to work with you and work with others like you. Again, thank God for the Black women out there that are leading this charge, leading the resistance, leading the idea that it's going to be us that shows America again what it can be. Because this is not a diss against anybody else. It is saying what's good for Black America is actually good for America. The more of us make more money, the more of us get wealthier, the more of us are on a higher vibration, the better it is for everybody. The more the money circulates, the less money that has to go into programs and so forth for underprivileged people. That's the goal of our country, to enlist everybody into our economy, to make housing more affordable, because now there's more people who are able to afford housing, right? So I am excited by what's to come in the next 4 years, particularly because I believe that the emperor will be seen to be who he really is. And hopefully those people who left home to go that direction will come back home. And by home, I mean to American values, and say, we only want to do business with people who really want to do business with us. So I want to encourage you. I want to say that the opportunities are great. The field is ripe, and we should go out and pick our own opportunities and look to be great, because in 4 years, we don't want to look back and say we missed the lesson and we didn't learn so that we could excel. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me. I'm excited for us. And I'll see you next time.